Well, to be honest with you, you kind of glitched out there for a minute, so I
Right.
don't really know if you said my name
Okay.
right.
Hello, everybody. How's it going? I know, right? This is welcome to podcasting. This is what it is. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the show. My name is Josh. This is the Josh McKinney podcast. Today, we have a very special guest with us, um, Kayla McKinney. She is a very talented singer songwriter, a Nashville recording artist, and just a wonderful person. Kayla, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Anytime. How are you today?
I'm doing okay. I've got a little bit of laryngitis going on, just a touch, but that's to be known after singing my heart out after 2 shows and then
Oh, for
doing too
sure.
much on TikTok. I've been going live
Right.
on TikTok singing.
You have been hitting social media hard, and that's awesome. I don't have a TikTok. I swore to myself I would never make one. And then I made one for one of the bands I was in, and I was like, no, I can't do it. So I had to just delete it. Had to delete it. But I follow you on Facebook, and I love the acoustic stuff you're doing from your house. That's awesome. The acoustic live streams are really good.
My favorite part of it is my dog.
Yeah.
She like pops in and out occasionally.
Yeah. So when did you first get into singing? How old were you?
I was very young when I started singing. I started singing in church, and that one of my mom's friends noticed early on that I could, pick up pitch and all of that stuff early on from a small child. And I wasn't even really talking good, but I could hum along with just about anything. And
Mm-hmm.
um, so she kind of worked with me and started me out on some hymnals and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then it just kind of grew from there.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it just became an outlet for me, I
Mm-hmm.
guess you could say.
So singing, that's funny. Same thing. I started playing in church. Well, I wanted to start playing in church. The first person that I saw play guitar that I was like, I want to do that. He was the bass player at the church that I went to as a child. Um, I've talked to a lot of people. The majority of musicians actually that I've talked to get started in church. It's crazy how many of them do. Who was your biggest influence? Like when you were in your bedroom singing, your heart out as a child, what were you singing?
Well, my influences started with watching movies, actually.
Yeah.
My dad got me into watching Coal Miner's Daughter.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd watch that over and over again. And I watched how she went from, living a very poor life and then working really, really hard to become something. And then I watched Selena, even though I didn't speak Spanish, I would sing along with Selena's songs. Still don't know if I was singing them correctly. But I loved how she was like on stage and she didn't care. She went with the trends. She had to
Mm-hmm.
tell her dad, I'm gonna wear a bustier, dad, on
Mm-hmm.
stage because that's what Madonna's wearing, that's what Paula Abdul is wearing,
Mm-hmm.
and that's what I'm gonna do. And so she worked really, really hard, and so I got to watch that aspect. And then I started listening to vocals and memorizing songs and breaking songs down piece by piece
Mm-hmm.
from vocalists like Shania Twain, Whitney Houston, Celine Dion, Dolly Parton, uh,
Mm-hmm.
Jody Messina, Martina McBride. There were so many. And then as a teenager, it was like Carrie Underwood came out, and I was like, holy smokes.
Mm-hmm.
She's got the pipes and the soul and the whole stage presence. And So I feel like I have a mixture of a little bit of Carrie, but a little bit of
Hmm.
Miranda and a little bit of rock and roll in me too.
Sure.
So with the Stevie Nicks and the Pat Benatar. So
Hmm.
just it all merged into me becoming who I am, and then with my own personal journeys as a an artist and a writer, came from real life scenarios. So
Hmm.
uh, just tried to pour all of that in there. But yeah.
Yeah. That's awesome. That's also all amazing influences, and I definitely hear them. I hear them in your voice and in your music and the way you sing. You have such a amazing voice. I mean, you're extremely talented. Um, you've got the pops on you too. You've got the pops on you too. Do you play any instruments, or do you just
I
sing?
play a little bit of guitar, but
Mhm.
I'm not good at it. My brother was the guitar player in the family,
Yeah.
and all those years I thought, well, I'm just going to work on my vocals and work on writing and all of
Hmm.
that, and let him play the guitar because he was just so good at it.
Hmm.
And now he's got 5 kids and he can't. He's
Right.
one. He can't. He's just got his hands so full. But bless
Oh,
his heart.
sure, sure. So was your family musical like most of your family? Is it something that y'all shared or?
It was my dad and my aunt started out singing, and my dad picked a little guitar and played a little bit of piano, and but mostly, when it all summed down to it, they opted to turn towards gospel music.
Right.
So they pushed me heavily in that direction, but I'm a little rebellious.
I hear that. I hear that. I think that's pretty common with us musicians. I think that's pretty common.
When Guns N' Roses came out, I was like, "Oh no, don't you cry no more. Take me down to Paradise City."
Yep. Yep. No, I feel you. I feel you there. Gosh, that's great. Um, so um you've been to Nashville and recorded now. How many times? And I saw you just posted on Facebook, you in the studio again. Is that something you're working? Is there something you're working on now?
It is out. I have to
Okay.
upload it to my Patreon club, which
Mhm.
is where my members will get that first
Mhm.
before it's released onto streaming sites. And they'll get the background behind writing the song, all of that before everybody else. So it's Kayla McKinney country.com/club, and they subscribe
Okay.
to that. And what that does is it helps fund me so that I
Mhm.
can continue to record more songs. But
Sure.
I've been to Nashville, let's see, 5 times. I'm trying to release them out as singles
Mhm.
so that it's just more of an excitement for each song, and the story behind each song kind of sticks with the audience as I perform it, instead of putting it all out there as a whole album all
Mhm.
at one time. And you know I'm like, half of them are about, you know okay, they're about the same guy, cheating,
Right.
and then the
Right.
audience is like trying to remember the stories behind all of them. Feed it one at a time. It's just a little bit better
Right.
for them.
Sure. Sure. That's so cool. I've never been good at writing songs. I don't know why. I've just like I can now if we're writing a song, if I'm writing a song with somebody, and I do that fairly often, I can come up with, I'm very creative and can come up with really good catchy hooks and parts and lyrics. But when I'm just if I just sit down like with a blank slate and like, all right, I want to see what comes out. What I end up with sounds like 50 other songs and I'm like, "Oh crap, I can't release that. It sounds like I'm ripping off the Eagles or whatever." Oh, Don Henley's gonna sue me.
It's so hard to come up with new guitar riffs. It really
Mhm.
is, because there's so many that are so common in other songs.
Yeah,
We struggle with that too sometimes.
I'm sure. what's your writing process like?
My writing process, I like to start with a hook, and then I like to write around that concept. Um, so, Don't Know Jack for me was writing
Mhm.
around the concept of people judging women for either staying in abusive relationships
Mhm.
and then kind of ridiculing them for talking about it after they do get out.
Mhm.
Like, oh, you're smearing this person. No, I'm trying to educate. I'm trying to
Mhm.
tell other people, hey, I've been through the same things, because it affects you psychologically when you've been through those things.
Sure.
And so the whole process of trauma bonding for me was something that I was passionate about, and nursing, and wanted to kind of bring that into my songwriting.
Mhm.
So the whole phrase for me, "Don't Know Jack," was you don't know him behind closed doors, and you don't know what this young
Sure.
lady's been through. So, you know, and then, so it starts with like a 3 to 4 word phrase, and
Mhm.
then tying those choruses into tying those verses into the chorus nicely, and
Mhm.
saying that punchline in your bridge, saying
Mhm.
everything you needed to say in it, you know. So it takes time. It's like
Challenging, I'm sure, yeah.
it is. Sometimes I'm like, how many pots of coffee have I drank on this one?
Right.
And people are like, how come I haven't heard from you in 3 days? And I'm like, because I'm hiding. I've got this song, y'all. And
Right.
then my hair looks like Albert Einstein by the time I'm done.
I doubt that. I doubt that. Mine did when I woke up this morning, though. I looked in the mirror and was like, "Oh, wow." That's never a good thing.
I'm pretty sure I have ADHD. So, like, they say that, ADHD people like can't focus when they're overstimulated. So, like, in
Mhm.
a room, a bar room, I'm like looking over here, which is
Oh,
great because I
yeah.
can hear the bass line, the drums, and the
Mhm.
guitar all at one time and
Right.
focus on what I'm doing. But
Oh, for
then when
sure.
you're writing it with ADHD, it's like you super hyper focus into what
Mhm.
you're writing, and you don't
Yeah.
want to leave it until you're done. And that's difficult sometimes as a writer.
Yeah.
So sometimes I have to tell myself, hey, you got to take a break and come back to this song. And,
Yeah.
you know,
See if you can finish it up later. Yeah, I could totally see that. Um, I've never been able to, like, successfully write anything on my own. Everything I've done has been with part of a project, like with a band or with, a client that comes to the studio to record something, and they have an idea, and they're like, they want someone to bounce ideas off of or whatever. So that's a challenge for me. Maybe I need to practice it more. Maybe I need to just write more. I'm sure it's like anything else. The more you do it, the better you'll get at it.
yeah. And it can be difficult to write with other people too.
Mhm.
Sometimes I like to write um, uh, with somebody that I can be completely honest with,
Sure.
where I can go, oh my God, I wrote that line down, but I really think that sucks. And so
Mhm.
I'm like, and the
Yep.
person will be like, no, Kayla, it's great. And I'm like, it sucks.
Please tell me the truth. Like, yeah, no, I get that. I totally get that. I could see that, and that's challenging too because it's like, yeah, if you're writing part of a group or part of a band, and somebody comes up with something, you don't want to shoot their idea down. At that point, I would rather write with somebody who was completely, like, brutally honest with me.
Yes.
Because,
It's, yeah.
well, at the end of the day, I mean, you're creating, even though it is still a piece of art, it's still a product too. It's both. And you want the best possible product for your fans. So I could
That's
totally see
right.
that. Totally see that. How was the shows this weekend? I know you said you played 2, right? Friday and Saturday.
Well, there were no beer bottles thrown. So,
That's always a good start. That's a good place to start. Have you ever had that happen legit? Have you ever had that happen?
oh man, I've played some places where I was like, where's the security?
Really?
And like, you needed the security and it wasn't
Yeah.
there. So like, yeah, I played one night and my bass player, some guy kept messing with his wife. He wouldn't leave her alone. She's out in the audience and she's like, dude, leave me alone, you know. My bass player's just a real polite guy.
Mhm.
He walked off the stage and he had a wireless bass on and he walked out there and he's like, dude, she's not interested. That's my wife, you know?
Mhm.
Just politely. It was a, and that guy got irate, but he didn't notice it. And so he just turned around and starts walking back to the stage and he's not even stopped playing, really.
Mhm.
And here comes this guy following him. And I'm like, oh no, this is not going to go well. The guy tried to follow him up on stage. And that's when I had to like put my hand on the guy's chest and be like, no, you're not getting,
Wow.
no, we're not doing this, you know? And so, yeah, I was the bouncer in that incident.
You were the bouncer. Oh my gosh. Maybe that bar needs to hire some security.
I've been doing this a while. So
Yeah. Yeah.
that's been nearly a decade ago, I'd say.
Really.
Gosh, yeah. Yeah, a long time ago. But I've seen some funny things go on. I mean, not funny in the moment, but now looking back,
Yeah,
I'm like,
in retrospect.
yeah.
Yeah, I've seen bars break out. It's funnily enough, it was the bass player of the band I was in at the time. I was in a metal band, and he got into an altercation at a bar while we were playing. And why is it always the bass players? No, I don't know if it's the same bass player you have now, but if it is, he's tremendously nice. I met him that night. Y'all come up here to rehearse, and he's
He
just
is.
super cool. I don't imagine at all that he would uh initiate
No.
a confrontation. But the bass player I had at the time, who will more than likely watch this, and Cobby, if you're watching, you know it's true. You absolutely would and did initiate a confrontation.
Like, bring it on. It's all about that bass, you know?
I think he got pepper sprayed at one of the shows. That was with his
Oh
other band.
no.
It was
Oh my
I
gosh.
know.
Better than getting tased, I guess. I don't know.
I would rather get tased. I
You
would
rather
rather
get
get
tased?
Oh yeah, because once it's done, it's over with. With pepper spray, nah, you're suffering for hours or days. It's not fun.
Oh dang. Yeah.
I think I'd rather be tased. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Now that I think about that, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'd have to take Benadryl. My whole face would probably swell up.
Yeah. Yep. It would. Yeah, I'd much rather be tased.
But
But
on a lighter note, I wouldn't need any lip injections, you know?
oh gosh. Not for a little while anyway. You don't need lip injections. What are you talking about?
I don't do it. Yeah, I don't
Oh,
do
I
any of
know.
that
I'm
stuff.
aggravating you.
Yeah. I'm definitely, it's all about the music for me, you
Oh,
know.
I know. I know you.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm aggravating you.
yeah.
It's funny. But I mean, it's undeniable. You can't deny the fact that I mean, a lot of people love to see an attractive woman sing too. I mean, that's part of it. It's part
That's
of it.
true. And Stevie Nicks, she's
Mhm.
always gonna have it.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah,
She's a
for sure.
hottie. She
For
it
sure.
doesn't matter how old she gets, she is beautiful.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
she doesn't age.
No,
She
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 doesn't.
doesn't. She doesn't age. It's wild. It's that whole like I know they're drinking virgin blood or something to stay. Now Madonna, on the other hand, has turned into the little dude from Saw. Like, I don't know what on earth is going on with her, but have you seen I know you've seen her in social media lately. She's all over social media, but like
She is,
she's
yeah.
turned into Jigsaw. Like someone needs to get her a little tricycle to ride.
Yes, I mean, she needs to stop with the plastic surgery for sure.
Yeah.
Jigsaw, my gosh. Now that I
Um
think about that, yeah, I can see it. I
yeah,
can
she
see
looks
it.
just like Jigsaw. I'm a terrible person. Here I am, like, criticizing
Yeah.
Madonna, who is considered a sex symbol and, like, is a multimillionaire, sold so many albums, and I'm sitting here in my little house. It's like, Madonna, who am I?
Well, we love her for her music, right? That's yeah.
Yeah, I do like Madonna's like older 80s and 90s stuff. I
She
do.
definitely knew what she was doing, that's for
Mhm.
sure. Like
She
a
did.
virgin.
Yep. I'll never be able to hear that song though without hearing Weird Al's Like a Surgeon. I'll never be able to hear that song and it be the same to me.
I keep waiting for somebody to redo one of my songs.
You know you've made it when Weird Al makes a parody of your music.
Oh yeah.
You know
I
you've
just
made
wonder
it.
what he would come up with, you know.
God, there's no telling. There's no telling. I'm actually a huge Weird Al fan. I've seen him in concert twice now. It's amazing. The man is legit an actual, probably certified genius. So, and he's ruined so many songs for me that I'll never be able to hear the same again.
What
Never.
didn't he do like the Amish Mafia? Or no, what was that
Amish
song?
Paradise.
Amish
Yeah.
Paradise.
Yep, Amish Paradise. It was Gangster's Paradise, but it was yeah, I could literally rap you that entire his version of that song note for note, word for word, but I have no idea what the original one even says. No clue. No clue.
His version's better, you know.
To me, it is. To me, it is. I grew up listening to Weird Al though. That's something that our whole family is a huge fan of. That's weird how that, but yeah, like my whole family is Weird Al fans. That's
Well, you
so
guys have
funny.
a great sense of humor then.
I guess either that or we're mentally ill. I don't know which. Probably,
Hey, we have the
probably both.
same last name,
I know,
brother.
right? I know, right? I
I
know.
totally get it.
That's so funny. It's so funny. Oh my gosh. So what do you have planned for the future musically? Like what, I guess what is your end goal musically? Do you want, I know everybody wants their career to grow as much as it possibly can. But like what is your goal for the next like 5 years musically? As far as your career, where would you like to see it go?
My goal is, you know, I'm just going to keep working, and where it goes, it goes. I'm going to keep writing, keep recording, keep performing, keep, you
Mm-hmm.
know, um, uh, growing my audience on social media,
Mm-hmm.
booking shows, uh, you know, so it's just, I'm just doing it, making a living and having fun at it. If I said, hey, my goal is to be on the CMAs in 5 years and I don't make it there,
Mm-hmm.
you know, I might like, you know, tear my whole house apart or something. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I don't like to make goals that may not be completely realistic, but sometimes like stuff happens and you're like, wow, I never thought that I would
Mhm.
be here. And
Yeah.
that's when I'm there, that's when that's how I want to feel about it.
Mhm.
You know, like, oh my gosh, yeah, I've worked hard, but here it
Yeah.
is. Today's the day, you know,
Yeah.
if I'm ever on the Grand Ole Opry or something like that, you know. But if I'm not, hey, I'm doing what I'm doing for a living. I am who I
Yeah.
am. I
Yeah.
wrote the songs, I can sing the songs, I perform them, I connect with my audience. I'm
Mhm.
doing what they would do, you know,
Mhm.
just, you know, on a
You
different level.
you should set unrealistic goals though. You absolutely should.
I
Absolutely
mean,
100%. You
I
should.
like to envision myself there,
Yeah.
you know.
Envision yourself, say it. Say it out loud. It is so wild how much more likely something is to happen if you actually vocally say it.
That's
Um,
true.
it is so wild how much that affects everything. Because I read, it's not been long ago. I went down the rabbit hole of like the like Rich Dad Poor Dad, like kind of the success rabbit hole, like where I wanted to um be in terms of not just financial goals, but like lifestyle, work, the whole 9 yards. And when you verbalize something, like I've always, as long as I've been old enough to know what cars are, I've always wanted a Porsche. Always wanted a Porsche. And after I went down that rabbit hole and learned that you have to, well, first of all, I stopped saying if I would get one, and I started saying when I get one. And people thought I was insane because here I am working at a gas station making minimum wage. And I'm like, yeah, when I get my Porsche. And they're like, what? This guy's an idiot. Well, if you want something bad enough
Yep.
and you verbalize it and it stays in the forefront of your mind, you will eventually make it happen. And I did. I bought a Porsche about 4 years ago, my first one.
Wow.
So and I sold it when I saw an opportunity to sell it and make money and come out ahead on it. So I kept it for about 3 years. But my point is, and Porsche, it has nothing to do with the car, really. It's that I don't like to say if I do something. I want to say when I do something, especially if it's something I want. And you should absolutely set your goals as high as you want to. And that way, if you make it just halfway there, man, you've done something.
Yeah.
You've
Shoot
done
for
something.
what is the term? Shoot for the moon, and if you land in the stars, or
Shoot for the stars, and if you land on the moon, you've done great.
I'm totally backwards here.
That's okay. That's
Might be
okay.
dyslexic too.
I am dyslexic. I am. So yeah, dyslexics of the world untie. But no,
Runs in our blood, I guess.
it must have been. Plus,
But
you don't
yeah.
want to shoot. You really don't want to make it to the stars too, because I hear they're pretty hot. That whole thing there, you might get burned.
Yeah, that's true.
But then there's other sayings. They're like, don't fly too close to the sun because you'll burn your wings and you'll fall back to the sky. There's all kinds of sayings, but I know you have it in you to do anything you want to. So I hate for you to, say that singing in the Grand Ole Opry is not realistic for you, because if you want it bad enough and you put your mind to it and figure out how to do it, is absolutely realistic enough for you. It's realistic. You could totally do it. Totally do it.
And we wouldn't have to put chicken wire over the stage. I'm pretty sure they have security there.
Exactly. They serve beer in cups there, so it'd be a plastic cup.
Oh, goodness.
Bars are wild, man. I've played my fair share of bars. I was in a metal band, like I said earlier, and gosh, there was one place down in Hickory we played called The Wizard, and it was a biker bar. It was a wild place. Like, I was afraid to use the bathroom there because you just walk in and you're like, man, I know just being in here, I'm going to get AIDS. Like, this is not good.
People just look at you like, who are you?
Right.
It's the looks on certain people's faces like, do you want trouble? Because I'll give you some trouble. And you're like,
I swear,
no.
People go out just to fight. I swear they do. Some people just go out to fight. It's like, why even, like, oh man, I don't know.
They do.
Blows my mind. It blows my mind. Like, but then again, I'm a musician. And we're musicians. So when we go to a bar to hear, I never go to a bar to drink, or anything. I'm the bar scene's not my thing. And I'm not knocking those who go to bars, or clubs, it's fine or whatever. But if I go to a place like that, it's to hear a band. So I'm there just to hear the band and I want to enjoy the band. So it's hard for me to understand bar culture, and it's even harder for me to understand the concept of wanting to go out to a bar and get into a fight too. But there are legit people who want to do that, and they set their goal. They just want to go out and get in a fight.
Yeah, I've seen that.
I guarantee it.
There's like girls that I don't know if their boyfriends or something have seen me on like social media or something, and they've like, and they're like, who is that girl? And they're like following me or something, and like them two get into it, and then before you know it, I'll be like out doing karaoke or something with my girlfriends or whatever, and they see me and they think somewhere in the back of their mind that I've had something, or their boyfriend's had some kind of crush on me or whatever. I don't know.
Well, when you put yourself out there, yeah. Yeah, I get it.
you know.
I get it.
So you just gotta like it's a scary thing, like when people know who you are and you don't know who they are.
Right.
It's a little different, you know,
Oh,
but
very much so.
it's all part
Very
of it.
much
I
so.
remember Loretta Lynn's like, "Don't touch my hair." Remember when those girls grabbed her
Yep.
hair? She's like,
Yep.
"Don't touch my hair. Who touched my hair?" She's ready to fight, you know?
She was. She was mad as hell.
Gotta love it.
Mad
Sissy
as hell.
Spacek did a great job playing her in that movie. She
Oh,
really
yeah.
did.
Oh, yeah. For sure. For sure. What is your, so tell me what your playlist looks like. What does Kayla McKinney listen to in her free time?
What do I listen to?
Yeah, like if you're driving down the road and you're jamming out to a song and singing it, what are you listening to? What's your playlist look like?
I'm really into some Blackberry Smoke right now.
Mhm.
Whiskey Myers.
Yeah.
I like everything. Like I like rock, like Nickelback, like the older rock music. But I mean, I'm into Lainey Wilson right now too.
Mhm.
Um, Carly Pierce,
Yeah.
Ashley McBride. My sister's in country music.
Oh, really?
Or no, like they are I technically I call them my sisters
Oh,
in country
gotcha, gotcha,
music
gotcha,
because
gotcha.
they
Okay, I thought you were
write
saying
to
your
my
sister is in country music. No, I get you now. I understand. Sorry, my bad. I was like, your sister's in country music too. Why don't you have a band together?
No, that
I'm
wouldn't
really
work. They'd be like, nope, I ain't working with her because I'm hard to work with. I'm just yeah.
No.
Ask my drummer if he misses a beat. I'm like, he's like, you got to stop looking at me. You know, turn around, look at the audience. Half the time he thinks I'm looking at him, but I'm really trying to figure out how to play the tambourine
Oh, I
on
gotcha.
time with him. And so I like watch
Gotcha.
his snare, you know, and
Yep.
so because I don't want to mess him up
Right.
because you know what they say, white girls ain't got no rhythm.
But you do. You can sing and you sing in rhythm. You
I
do have
do.
rhythm.
I'm my worst critic, really. I really am.
We all are. We all are. And they could say what they want, but I've seen plenty of other people with no rhythm too. I wonder if that's something that like you're legit born with or you develop.
I think it's a timing thing.
Yeah. Cause I don't know. I know some drummers. I've played with some drummers that I'm just like, how are you a drummer? You have no sense of timing. Like you're all over the place. And it's like you should be able to learn. I don't know. I don't know. I feel like when you're learning the drums, that should be like the most important thing. Is I don't expect every drummer to like, stay in the pocket all the time, but you should at least, be consistent.
Yep.
You should at least be consistent. I don't know. So how long have you said you've been doing this? How long have you been playing gigs?
I'd say about 10 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, or more. Yep. At
Have you
least
ever
10 years. Yeah.
um have you ever like fronted a band or has it always been like you with a band backing you?
I've always fronted the band.
That's cool.
So it's always been my band.
Your project, yeah.
I've filled in as a female singer here and there with other bands, you know, when they've
Mhm.
needed a female singer. I've done little duets with festivals with other bands, you know, with other
Mhm.
artists. But as far as me and my product, we started out as what they call the Twisted Trail Band.
Mhm.
Twisted Trail Band. I love to hear people say it when they're tipsy.
Right.
But
Twist is
yeah,
bad band. The
I can
twitchy
barely
band.
say it.
The twitchy band. You're the twitch what? I'm the what?
Yeah, so I don't even like. I guess my whole idea was it was a cover band, and so I wanted
Right.
to twist together rock and country and
That's
different
cool.
genres,
I get that.
and that's kind of how it started. And then it just grew over the years, and everybody knew us as Twisted Trail Band. And then when I started writing and going to Nashville,
Mhm.
and everybody was like, "You need to go on The Voice. You need to go on American Idol. You need to do this. You need to do that." And I was like, but I'm in nursing school. How is that
Mhm.
possible? And
Mhm.
then when I did start writing and recording, that's when it hit home that I could do this and make a living at it, and that I had a real good shot
Sure.
at doing this full time. And so that's what I decided to do.
Mhm.
But I had to drop the name Twisted Trail Band.
Mhm.
So now we call it the Twisted Trail Tour.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you just do this full time now. So you're just a full-time musician.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That is so
Mhm.
cool. That is so cool. I'm very envious of you for that. I would love to do music full time. Unfortunately, I'm not able to, but God, I would love to, and I'm sure eventually I'll get to the point where I can, because it is a goal and something I'm working towards. But the idea of doing what you love for a living is, you know what they say, do what you love and you'll never work a day in your life. But
Yeah.
it is work. It's hard work. People don't realize how much hard work goes into um, all of it, from writing the first lyric or the first hook of the song to the rehearsals and the production of the stage production, the sound equipment, like all of it. There's so much work and there's so many working parts in a project.
Yes, there is. And then the dynamics between like we have my band. It's hard to keep a band together, but I have a band of
Very.
professionals that like they talk shit to each other and it's funny, and
Mm,
they love each other every weekend. And so they're like looking forward to seeing each other every weekend. They get
that's good.
together and they have fun. And
Mhm,
for a long time I felt like a kindergarten teacher. Like, you guys get along. I know you
mhm.
don't like so and so, and now I have a good group
That's
of
good.
guys that get along, and and they're humble about it and
Mhm,
professional. They all work towards doing what we're supposed to be doing, and that's catering to our audience. And it's
mhm.
not just about them or their ego or any of those things. And so that's really important to have, especially as an artist. You have to have a good band backing you, you
Oh,
know.
yeah, for sure. Absolutely. 100%. I mean, a good band will make or break you. It really will.
Yeah.
No, I get that. It's a lot of work to keep a band together. And if you get to the point where somebody doesn't like somebody else, it's like at that point you may as well just figure out which one of them needs to go and get rid of one of them because it's not going to work. It's not going
Yeah.
to work. It is. It's hard to keep a band together.
It's hard. And then, there's that aspect of, I get attached, it becomes like my family. And then I'm like, but I
Hmm.
don't want to fire so and so,
Right.
and
Yep.
so there's the heartbreak that comes along with having
Hmm.
people come in and out of your life.
Hmm.
And then, the other aspects of, social media and,
Hmm.
what social media does to your personal life as an artist,
Yep.
those things.
Oh
You
yeah,
gotta
I totally get you. Totally get it.
protect your family, all of those things. And yeah, and
Yeah, and I put myself out there too, doing this, doing the podcast, I've got two YouTube channels, one small one and one smaller one. Um, and I've got my other projects that I'm working on too. And I put myself out there and I mean, I just had this conversation actually with somebody else. You can't read the comments. Like I try really hard not to read comments because there's so many people that just want to shit all over everything that you're doing and everything that someone else is doing. I don't know why that is, but for some reason we're like that.
I call them trolls.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of that too.
And
A
I
lot of
think the
that.
reason that people call them trolls is because they, uh, I mean, I guess when I think of a troll, I think of the old school trolls under the bridge, like,
That's exactly what they are.
yes, they're miserable with their own life.
Yeah, they are.
And so they have nothing better to do than to get behind a keyboard
Hmm.
and to start talking smack to people. But
Yep.
they don't have the guts or the courage to get on social media or YouTube or do anything productive for themselves or put themselves out there. And
Oh,
that's
sure.
kind of sad. So I feel sorry for them in a way, you
Mhm.
know, but
Oh,
yeah,
yeah, I do too. I totally feel sorry for them. Um, but yeah, it is very much so people who are miserable in their own lives, and they feel like there's this, I don't know, they're hiding behind the keyboard, they can, and they say stuff that they would never in a million years to say to someone's face.
no, because they're
Never
scared
in a
they
million
get
years.
punched in the face.
Right. Yeah, when you put a keyboard in between you and the other person, you remove the element of, well, not element, but the, threat of violence that could be inflicted upon you, and so I guess they're a lot more brave. But yeah,
Yes.
no, I don't read comments, and I try to laugh at a lot of the stuff that is said, especially if it's negative, but
Yes.
at the end of the day, you're doing what you love for a living, and that is just fantastic, and I really applaud you for that. You wanted something, and see, you made it happen, and that's why I'm saying, you should absolutely set unrealistic goals because, um, nobody got to any position of greatness by setting a goal that they would just settle for. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I think the fact that I had these dreams, I did have them as a little girl. And, I knew that it takes a lot of hard work, takes the
Mhm.
right team members, it takes money to do this, takes
So much
talent and
money.
creativity, education, and all that mixed together. That was going to take time for me to acquire to start building a product.
Mhm.
So right out of the gate, young ladies that are trying to do this, they're not going to be able to do it right out of the gate. If they
Mhm.
don't have the support system that they really need to do this. And so, but it's kind of like Sheryl Crow. I've come around the hard way. I've worked for
Mhm.
everything that I on my own, and then those that have stepped up to back me, I'm like super appreciative of that.
Mhm.
But I had to prove that I could do this, and for people to go, okay, this is what she's going to do, with or without
Mhm.
anyone. But I think, the thing that can drive some people more than others is being told that you can't do it.
Mhm.
And at some point in time, I was told by, somebody that I live with, that's unrealistic and you won't be able to do that. And I've way passed all of those things that was said to me, you won't be
Mhm.
able to make money at this. Um, and I'm paying all my bills,
Yeah.
so
Yeah. That's awesome. That is
yeah.
awesome. Go you. See, shoot for the stars, and if you make it to the moon, you still have your wings, so you won't crash into the ocean.
That's
I think
right.
I don't know.
Unless you get shot down
That
by the US government.
right. Just don't do it in a balloon, right? Okay. Don't go in a
or
balloon.
or over
What?
freezing shark infested waters.
Right. What is it? What is up with all the UFO stuff? I know this is totally out of left field, but there's been like 3 shot down this month.
Really?
Yeah, not even counting the balloon. The balloon wasn't a UFO. I mean legit UFOs in the national news that have been shot down in the past month. There's been 3. And I'm like, "Man,
Wow.
what is going on?" And everyone's just like, "Meh, whatever. Meh." Like,
We're
are
being invaded
for real,
by
are you
aliens. Did they
I
ever see
mean,
what was in the UFOs? I'm just curious. If they did, they're hiding it.
I don't know. They've not said. They just said that they shot down, what was it? They didn't call them UFOs. They were unidentified aerial phenomenons, UAFs or whatever they call them now.
Oh wow.
So, yeah. But yeah, they've shot down 3 this month and then reported them on the news, and I'm like, "No one's talking about this? This seems kind of, important to me."
Yeah.
I would think.
That and
Seems
the train in Ohio
Yeah.
derailing the tracks. That
That was wild. That was so bad. So bad.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
But You're really killing it out there. You really are. I expect nothing but big things to come with your career over the next several years. Um, and I look forward to watching you grow as a musician and to watching you grow in your career. Like I'm really excited about where life's going to take you. I think it's going to be nothing but good things. I really
Yeah,
do.
it's after every nap I take, I just pop up and I'm like, all right, what am I gonna do better now? So
Yeah.
naps are a good thing, just so in case anybody's listening.
Oh, they are. I took one today. I woke up with a headache and I was like, I'm taking a nap to get rid of this headache. And I woke up and I felt great. I felt great.
Yeah.
Our bodies need sleep. When did it become lazy to like let our bodies rest? Like I get it if you're sleeping, 14 hours a day and then not doing anything, but I mean, we have to sleep.
Yeah, mentally, especially
Yeah.
if you're going mentally. Yeah,
Yeah.
gotta shut it off.
I feel
Yeah.
like that's an American thing more than anything. I feel like that's something I don't know why, but it's so like the whole, I don't know if it's necessarily the hustle culture
Mhm.
or if it's just been ingrained to us from the time we were children. But yeah, rest is looked down upon almost in our culture, in our society.
Oh yeah.
It's and that's wild. Who doesn't like to just rest and veg out? Sure, too much of anything is a bad thing. You don't want to do it all the time. You've got to be productive, but you have to give yourself time to recover too. And I know that's usually, I'm sure that's what you do on Sundays is recover from your shows.
It is. That's why I'm so raspy right now. But
Yeah.
then by like Tuesday, I'm good.
Yeah.
Like you'll never know that I've done a show. So I
Mhm.
know all of it is just a little bit of swelling
Mhm.
um, from me pushing too hard.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
But that's what makes your shows so good. I mean, you do push it hard and you when you sing, I mean, you pour your soul into it. You pour your heart into it.
the energy is there.
Mhm.
The adrenaline is there. And I think that's why on Sundays I'm like, because it's like I've just ran
Mhm.
a 34-mile marathon,
Right.
what it feels like, my body feels like. But, take a hot bath and drink me
Mhm.
some tea and drink a protein shake and rehydrate and all of those
Mhm.
things that it takes. It's like being an athlete
Mhm.
and then trying to, go to the gym and,
Yep.
make sure that you're getting enough time and rest in between each of your workouts and all of those things. So
Mhm.
you have the stamina to put on the show that you
Oh,
could
for
put
sure.
on because any moment where it just drops down during a show, you watch your audience lose
Mhm.
that energy there. And my goal is, I mean, it's not necessarily. I'm not doing DJ music, but
Mhm.
my goal is to capture them in the moment and the emotion in my voice and in the music and how tight we are as a band.
Mhm.
Um, without them having to even get up and dance, and
Mhm.
and for it to be an amazing listening room,
Yeah. Yeah. That's just
even in
so
a
cool.
bar room.
Mhm.
So
Well, everybody gets their starts in bars. I mean, you've got to start somewhere, and you've been doing this for so long now. You're an established band, so I could definitely see y'all getting some crazy good shows. Some crazy good shows. I know you do festivals a lot, don't you?
we're merging into festivals. I've
Are
done the
you?
Hillbilly Jam out in Maggie Valley, and I've got a few more that I'm looking into this year.
How was that?
Hillbilly Jam's always a blast.
Yeah,
You
I've never
gotta,
been. I need
yeah,
to go.
you need to go. But I mean, everybody's got moonshine, so you got to pre-hydrate before you go
Oh
down there.
God, I bet.
You got to make arrangements for a room
Right.
somewhere close by.
You can walk to or stumble to.
Yeah, yeah. Oh gosh. I was like, I had jars of moonshine and I was like, my friends are already drunk and I'm like, okay, I got to take these home and drink them because I'm like the
Right.
DD.
Yep.
And I like hid them under the tire of my car because my keys were backstage. Nobody even knew they were there.
That's
But
awesome.
but yeah, I've been, yeah. milking those jars of moonshine. So yeah.
And it's real moonshine too. It's not the shit they sell in Pigeon Forge. It's real moonshine.
It's real moonshine. Yep. Yep.
Ah,
Sure is. Yep.
that shit's crazy. I mean, just to think that somebody, in somewhere in the woods has made like 200 or 180 proof alcohol. That is insane. We had a
Yeah.
local moonshiner get busted a few years ago here where I live, and we had to. Well, I think that the law just had to do something because somehow the ATF found out, and the feds were like, "You guys have to do something about him." But he had been making moonshine for years, and no one said anything or cared. It was so funny. I'm sure
Oh my
not to him
gosh.
it wasn't funny, but it's like, yep, we all kind of saw it coming. But
Yeah. Now they're wanting it all legally done, so
uh-huh. Yep. And that's the thing. They just want their they want their
cut
cut.
out of it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's all it is. They don't care what people put in their body. They just want to be able to make money off of it.
That's true. Yep.
So what do you have coming up? You got shows next week?
I do not have shows next week. I have some
Nice.
family stuff that I gotta to some family member of mine's having some procedures done, so I'm gonna
Gotcha.
stand by with that. I'm still a
Sure.
nurse on the side, not working
Right.
as a nurse, but mentally, kind of
Taking
like
care, yeah.
yes, yeah. And so I'm gonna try to be there through all that in case anything happens and I can assist in any way.
Mhm.
So next week is pretty much cleared out,
That's good.
and which I need to rest vocally anyway. So
Right.
perfect timing. And then the following week, let me see what I got real quick on my calendar here.
Yeah. Yeah. Plug your shows, plug your stuff. Absolutely.
Let's see. March 4th, I am at Wild Wing Cafe in Johnson City, Tennessee. So you guys check me out there.
Everybody come to the show. Everybody.
It's going to be wild.
And there'll be wings.
Yeah.
I've not even been to the Wild Wing Cafe since they put one in JC. I need to go check it out.
Yeah, it's a pretty big, cool little place. Yeah.
I ate at the one in Asheville all the time. I loved it.
It's been a hot minute since I've been to the one in Asheville. Yeah.
Yeah. So Wild Wing, and you just got the one show that week?
That week, yeah. It's a
Cool.
Friday, yeah.
Cool. March 4th, Wild Wing Cafe in Johnson City. Everybody put that on your calendars. Everybody.
But yeah.
That's awesome. That's
I
awesome.
remember Luke Combs, he played at the Wild Wing. He started out.
Really?
Yeah, I think during his song "Doing This," I swear the hardwood floors on the stage, because Wild Wings always has hardwood floors on their stages.
Mm-hmm.
When he references that line of "I'd still be doing this," on a hardwood floor, I think that's probably bringing back some memories for him.
Yep. That's definitely a reference to I didn't know that, but that makes sense. That's totally a reference to Wild Wing.
I think it is.
Yeah, I would say
Luke,
so.
if you watch this, Luke, you should tune in and let us know if it is in your writing, because I really think it is. Because he's looking back during the song, and he references Adam Church. Adam Church,
Okay.
helped him and got him started helped him with social media and started writing with him, and so yeah, he gives Adam the credit, and
Oh, that's cool.
it's cool. Yeah.
There was one big country artist that came out of Johnson City, or that went to school at ETSU or something like that. I forgot who it was.
Out of Johnson City?
Yeah.
I'm not sure about
maybe he just went to school at ETSU, because when I was there, when I was in college, that was a big deal, and he I got to look it up. I got to know who it was. Pretty sure. Oh, it's Kenny Chesney.
Oh, I should have known that.
Kenny Chesney. That's who it was. That's who it was. He went to school at ETSU. Because, ETSU has this massive bluegrass program. They're huge into bluegrass. It was funny when I was there. My little brother come over to spend the night with me, and I was like, "Hey, did you want to go to a college party?" He was like, "Yeah." I was like, "All right." So I knew one of my friends was throwing a bluegrass party, and there was it was wild. So in every room in this person's house, like in the living room, then in the dining room, then in one of the bedrooms, so 3 rooms, there was a full ensemble bluegrass band playing in each room. And I guess in his mind, he was thinking, like a college party, like what you see in the movies and stuff. But then we show up and it's a bluegrass party. He's like, "What is this?"
I would love that.
It was so much fun. It was so much fun.
They'd have to kick me out of there.
Yeah.
I'd bring a jar of moonshine and
Oh, we
they'd be
both brought
like,
our guitars. I was like, "We got to bring our guitars, man. I think there's going to be music there." And he's like, "Okay." And we get there and you walk in and it's just bluegrass music playing. And he's like, he did not expect that. It was see that reaction was hilarious.
that's my kind of party right
Yeah.
there.
Yep. I hear you. Oh, for sure. I never was a fan of going to the college parties that were real parties. I'm good on that. But the bluegrass party with all the instruments, that was fantastic. That was
They
really
used to
cool.
have all the bluegrass down there in Old Fort, North Carolina. Do you remember
Mhm.
those days?
Yep.
And I remember
Yep.
going down there as a kid, and my dad would bring me into this big room, and it's full of all these fiddle players and banjo
Mhm.
players, and they had the large basses in there,
Mhm.
and I mean, it was just there was nothing like that.
Right.
And so they got to keep the bluegrass alive.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And ETSU is doing a great job of doing that. There was a little I don't think it's operational anymore, but there was a little music hall close to in Burnsville, North Carolina, where close to where I live, called Young's Mountain Music, and they did bluegrass there every weekend. There it was just show up and play bluegrass, and everyone would just jam. And there was a big stage. It was this whole thing. It was really cool. But I don't think that happens anymore. Unfortunately, stuff like that going away is such a tragedy. It really is.
Whoever's leading it, and the older bluegrass pickers, like Raymond Fairchild from
Hmm.
Maggie Valley,
Hmm.
them passing away, it's just heartbreaking. Everybody knows them as local legends, but
Hmm.
they lead in so many different ways and collaborating and bringing those things together. And then
Yeah.
when they pass, it's like, who's gonna fill their shoes?
I know, and see, I don't know the bluegrass world. I need to get into it more. I know the rock world, and even to some extent, jazz and blues and stuff. But I need to really kind of delve into new bluegrass and see what's going on, because I don't know. I don't know any of the new pickers. I don't know any of the new bands. I couldn't tell you. Could not tell you.
I love all of it. I love the rock, the bluegrass, and the country. So
Yeah.
I just yeah, I love all. But it's so entertaining to watch some of those guys. Those guys are such good pickers. Just so
Oh
like
yeah.
Billy Strings. If
Well,
yeah,
oh, I love Billy Strings. Billy Strings is awesome. Billy
he
Strings
is.
is awesome. And that's what I learned on. That's what I cut my teeth on was bluegrass. Growing up where I did with mom and dad being in the church, dad being a pastor, I was exposed to bluegrass gospel first before any other music, really. And when I started taking guitar lessons, that's what I learned. I learned my cowboy chords and I learned some scales, and um, that's what I played was bluegrass gospel music. So I really need to get into that and see what's going on in the bluegrass world. It would be very interesting to know um,
Yeah.
what it sounds like. I've had one actual real legit bluegrass. The other one was just Southern gospel projects up here in the studio. People come record clients. But I've had one recent bluegrass gospel band. They were really, really good. They're all amazing pickers and just really talented musicians. Um, and they talk constantly about the players that they listen to, and I'm like, I have no idea who these people are. I need to talk to them and be like, hey, send me some Newgrass to listen to, because I don't know if it's newgrass or what they call it, but I need to go down
And
that
then the
rabbit hole.
clogging that comes along with it too.
Right.
You know, it's like a staple of the Appalachian Mountains, the
It
clogging.
is. It is.
J Creek cloggers. We've had Zeb Ross come to our shows a couple of times.
Really?
He's pretty much famous on TikTok. I mean, he is famous on TikTok. He was on the CMAs with Luke Bryan and Peyton.
Holy cow.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, he come out and started clogging. The crowd went wild. Poor guy is out there signing autographs forever. Zeb, if you watch this, you're a rock star, man.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Can you clog? I can't. I can't even remotely dance. I can't.
I'm
clog.
lucky not to trip over my my high heels or my bell bottoms. To be honest
Well,
with
I
you.
don't think I could walk in either one of those. So I applaud you there. No, it's so funny because I'm a really good drummer. I stay in the pocket. I can play to a click. But I don't know. Maybe if it's, I never really put any time into it. And I would love to learn how to dance. I would love to learn how to break dance, but not tell anybody.
Yeah.
That would be hilarious. And then just one day, just like do it for no reason. They'd be like, "What the crap?"
Clear the dance floor, people.
That would be hilarious. And I would just want to do it just because it's funny. Maybe I need to do that. It's my new secret goal now, but it's out there. It's on the internet. Everyone's going to expect it now.
Yeah, we're gonna expect it now. We're gonna give you a release date.
Right. For me to break dance. Oh my God. No. That would be pretty. That would be a spectacle, if anything. That would be a spectacle. And I'm okay with making a spectacle of myself because it's all in good fun. Hey, if you can't laugh at yourself, who can you laugh at?
That's right.
Who can you laugh at?
I laugh at myself on a regular basis.
God, I do too. I have several times today. Several times. Well, Kayla, this has been so much fun. I've thoroughly enjoyed this.
Me too.
We've been going right at an hour. I try to keep them around an hour or so. But yeah, anytime you're free and you want to do this, just hit me up and we'll talk. I mean, I just like to sit and shoot the breeze on the podcast anyway. You know, I obviously want to interview and let the listeners, the viewers, get to know the person I'm talking to. But you have an open invitation anytime you want to come on the show, anytime you want to come here to the studio and do like an acoustic performance or something, and just come on, we'll do it.
Yes, that sounds like a plan.
Bring your guitar player and y'all come on and we'll do it. That'd be great.
We'll jam. Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Well, thank you so much, Josh, for
You're
having
welcome.
me.
So where can everybody find you? Go ahead and plug your socials.
You can find me at KaylaMcKinneyCountry.com and find all of my events under my tour dates. Also, you can find me on Facebook at Kayla McKinney Country and Instagram and TikTok. And we're working on a Twitter. We're a little bit behind on Twitter, but somebody asked the other night if we have a Twitter. I'm like, yes. That's in the making.
Twitter's such a dumpster fire.
I have not messed with Twitter, but it's still a market that we're
absolutely.
We're going to try to reach, and I don't know anything about it. So thank God my manager is there to help me with all that.
Yeah. Yep. That's awesome. Well, thank you again for coming on the show. This was so much fun, and we will absolutely do this again. And I look forward to having you up here into the studio and, just jamming sometime. That would be great too.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that breakdancing release party. So
it's going to happen.
Know when that happens.
It's going to happen. Don't worry. It will be a spectacle, and it will be on the internet for everyone to see. Good. Good. Everybody, please like this video, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if this is your thing and you like people just sitting around talking, getting to know us, getting to know each other, just having
laryngitis.
Fun. Exactly. I hope your laryngitis feels better. I hope it gets better very soon. So everybody, until next time, peace out.